champ is here.
We will definitely not shut up and dribble.
The champ is here. I must be the greatest. The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I shook up the world.
Welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man.
Hey, mate.
He is the DB of the show. We are Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. Here interviewing the best professionals in the game and in the boardroom. Laughing at it all, covering it all while providing a platform to be heard. So you know what we're going to do. We'd like to welcome our guest. He has played, 13 years professionally, hockey. So when you get a load of this man, you know he was a dominant force on the ice. And now he's a dominant force here, heating up the desert as a top executive casino host. We have Darren Banks. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Happy to have you in here, man. So how we start our show, we like to jump right in, man, and we ask a shoot your shot question, all right? So this is where, win or lose, you bet on yourself. You're like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. Win or lose. So it could have been somewhere where you took it all the way to the end zone, or it could have been somewhere where you fumbled the ball. But give us a shoot your shot moment.
I guess my shoot their shot, I guess my first game in the NHL. I went out there and played. I was out of my mind. That's all I can say. I was out of my mind.
Okay.
I was doing a lot of dumb things on the ice that you consider dumb nowadays, but it was exciting, and I was hyped up, and I just went crazy that game.
You just went all out.
All out.
Was it a blur? You remember anything?
Oh, no. I tried to start a brawl. That's the kind of player I was. I was kind of a rough, tough, tumble player, and I went out there, and I was trying to do anything I could do to be recognized.
Okay. I like it. I like the grind.
Right? Go out there, go for it.
Yes, sir. So take us back to the start of your love for hockey and just sports in general. Where did that start?
My hockey love starts, most people start with their father. Mine started with my mother. My mother taught me how to skate at 3 years old. I really didn't even really walk that much because my parents had been in a serious car accident, so my dad never skated.
Oh.
So Mom taught me how to skate, and I wasn't, I was used to being picked up all the time, and I would skate, and loved it, and didn't really know much about hockey, just playing with the kids out there. Mm-hmm. And then a neighbor kind of turned my parents into me, to me starting to try to play hockey.
Hey.
So what age was that when you started?
I didn't start till I was 7, so I was kind of late considering where kids now are 3 years old and they're playing hockey, or 4 years old playing organized hockey.
Sure.
So I didn't play till I was 7. But born in Canada, that's kind of a thing that we do back there.
Toronto, right?
I was born in Toronto, but grew up in Windsor, Ontario, across from Detroit.
There you go. There's that Detroit background, right?
Oh, yeah.
So hockey, right? It makes sense being in Canada. Like that's the maybe preferred sport. But still, you black in Canada. So how was that, man, starting out?
Again, very good athlete at a very young age. So I played every sport. I played baseball.
Dope.
I played basketball. If you've met people from back home nowadays and asked them how I was when I played baseball, they would say he's a phenomenal baseball player.
Okay.
I just didn't like it. It was boring to me. It just, everything moved too slowly for me.
And you can't beat people up.
Yeah. So, and as growing up, obviously there was a lot of racial tension when I was younger.
Right.
Being the only black kid on the ice, there was no other black kids, and I don't have an older brother, so I had to be this, the start of it all for our family.
Yep.
And it was a little difficult, but at the same time, it wasn't. It was kind of easy, and I got along with a lot of kids, and I'm really friendly. And again, being a really good athlete, everybody wanted me on their team.
Right.
So that was kind of reason why it was a lot easier for me when I was younger.
Got you.
And with just hockey in general, or just growing up in Canada, hockey is kind of a way of life. So I guess it doesn't have that stigma that maybe it had in the United States at that time of just kind of growing up and playing as the only black playing hockey at that time.
Oh, no. I heard it a lot.
Sure.
I heard it a lot. But again, I was the average kid that was my age. I was stronger than him. Or the average kid, I might have been taller than him.
Yeah.
So I learned that aggressive part of hockey real early, and being one of the better players, not the shit guy on the team. It was like, we want him on our team type of thing. So
absolutely.
You want to win.
Yeah.
Right. We picking that guy.
Yeah.
That racial tension was kind of a little easier, I would say, for me.
Okay.
Even though I might have heard it in the background, and then when I heard it, I used to snap right away.
Yeah, and they stopped.
And my mother was like, listen, you can't be in the penalty box just because someone called you a name. So as I got older, and the rules were the old rules, not what you guys see nowadays.
Right.
Back then, it was like, oh, that kid's got the puck. I'm just going to run him over. That's the kid that called me a name last time. I'm running him over, and it was okay back then. So
Yes.
that's how I played when I was young. So I didn't know any better, and I thought that's how you were supposed to play, because that's why it seems like every kid hit each other like that.
There you go.
So the physical nature of the sport gravitated you to the hockey more than, say, baseball or basketball or any other sport? Or?
The other sports were just too slow. They just moved too slow, and I didn't like football. So I played football. I had 5 scholarship offers in high school after playing 1 year.
Jeez.
And I was like, what is this guy hitting me for? I don't have the ball. Like, it wasn't fun to me.
I don't have the
makes
puck,
sense.
right? Like, so this is the separate thing, right?
It was just, guy blindsided you for no reason. Like, I didn't feel like I was in the play. And I'm like, somebody's going to get hurt out here if I keep playing football. Like, I'm going to start doing things to other players. And it's just,
grabbing face mask.
those rules, those games weren't for me, and hockey was my love. And that's, my father had never seen hockey, so watching me, I mean, he's a fan. If you call my mother and father right now, my mother, if I tell her there's a game on, she's turning it on. She doesn't care what channel it is. She's turning it on. My dad probably doesn't care, but he loved, and he backed me, and he did everything he could possibly do I could have the best things, best skates, best whatever. He did it and went out there and got it.
That's big time.
I love that, man. So how did that progress there? Was it like, did you get into it early, like leagues? How was it, fundamentally set up differently, there versus here?
Again, being in Canada, all the kids playing now, you see the older kids, they go to junior. Is that what you're supposed to do? Do you go to college?
Yeah.
College wasn't a big thing. It wasn't a thought. It was thought the only good players play junior. From junior, you turn professional.
Wow. Okay.
So, and believe it or not, I played them both, trying to find my way. And if I sat here and pulled out all my stats from as a young child, a junior player, and you're like, okay, then he went to university, then he went to college, then he went to university. Then he was like, went to university, left, played pro. Nope, going back to college. Then went pro again, and I was determined that I would play in the NHL.
Yeah.
No matter what the doubt-sayers would say, I was like, I am going to play in the NHL and prove a lot of people wrong. And
That's dope.
Again, I did it. I did it.
Was there somebody that you looked up to that maybe were in the NHL at that time when you was growing up through juniors?
Again, when I played, I see you guys are Laker fans. I wasn't a fan of a team.
Okay.
I was a fan of players.
Yeah.
In any sport?
Of any sport. It didn't matter if the Pistons.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like I told you guys earlier, my cousin played for the Pistons.
Right.
I didn't really care for the Pistons. I liked certain players.
Right.
So I liked certain players when I was playing hockey. Do I want to be that guy? No, he's the goalie. No, I don't want to play that position. Do I want to play I just wanted to be part of that. I wanted to have a part of that, and I wanted to be part of everybody.
Okay.
And again, I didn't follow a team. I just followed players, and I just loved the sport, and I just wanted to play, and it was fun. Make a living out of it. You didn't really think about making a living, how much money you can make as you get older. Then you start hearing, I can make this kind of money.
Right.
Now I'm like, I tell my friends now, I go, we should have been born 30 years later.
Right. Right.
The size of money is a little bit different right about now.
Tell me a little bit about juniors. I spent a little time in Boston, and so I was aware of the juniors a little bit through some just coworkers that I worked with. So how was your time in juniors?
It was a bit of a grind.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a grind, and you get through, in juniors, you ride the bus. To ride 13 hours to go play a game somewhere, was not uncommon. You get used to that kind of stuff. And then at the same time, now that you're in junior, you're playing either major junior. If you're playing junior B, you're trying to get to the next. How do I get to the next level? How do I get to the next level? And then it's like, in your thought or what is if you play pro, you don't have to ride a bus for 14 hours.
Right.
You're going to be on a plane now, and so that in your mind, you're like, that's what I want to do next.
The level.
And so it was like making each one of those levels. Now, you could play pro hockey and play in the American League, and they took buses everywhere. So to play a game, travel 7 hours, get to a hotel 4 o'clock in the morning, have to play that night, now you're like, I don't want to be in the American League. I want to be in the NHL. We fly there. We don't take a bus. So there's a lot of different things that happen. And then, I played in the IHL, where in the IHL, if you lived out west, you flew.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't want to play in the East. I want to play. I live out west. If I'm going to play in the minors, so those little things would go through your head, and if you could make those choices of where you can play, then you try to go those routes. Now, I don't know how much busing they do anymore.
Right.
I think most teams probably fly, and the teams are everywhere, so
Everywhere.
they've got to fly. But the lower leagues, the East Coast League and Southern professional leagues, those teams are bussing. They're not flying. So
That's a
that's 20 hours. Like guys out north or west in Canada, junior hockey, 23 hours on a bus.
That's a grind.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So they had some long
That's a grind.
I tell them, oh yeah, we had a 6-hour bus ride. They're like, what was that? Like you stopped? Was that lunch? Like they had 14, 15-hour bus rides. And that was unheard of where I was from.
That's a grind. I mean, in my experience with Greyhound buses, anything over about 4 hours is. Woo.
Yeah, I had only one experience with a Greyhound bus, and I was like, never again. I don't have to go that bad. So he brought up Boston, and that was that was a professional team you played with, right? You played with the Bruins, right?
Yes, sir.
So you had that set that it was professional. That's where you wanted to get. So how did you make that happen, and what was the process?
So my first 3 years I was with Calgary.
Okay.
And I played in the minors in Salt Lake City. And then I got a phone call, and you want to come to Boston? What NHL? Yeah, I want to go to Boston. It didn't matter what team.
You didn't care what the bus ride was.
Yeah.
Right? Just get you up there.
So, I finally went there, and I was determined that I knew what I had to do to make that team and type of thing, and went out there and did that. And, went through training camp and fought my way kind of through training camp, and then got to that first game. And unfortunately, my parents weren't there.
Oh, that's.
But they had seen me play some exhibition games with Calgary, and I don't know if they seen me with Boston too, because they'd flown to Toronto, or drove up to Toronto. So it was, but that first game, I mean, from the nervous energy from the morning to you were staying at the hotel down the street.
Oh boy!
And I was riding with another rookie, and the cab ride, and Boston, downtown Boston, can't move around at 5 o'clock,
Cannot.
4 o'clock. And
so that was another question. How was Boston? Because
how about this? I was 2 miles from the Boston Garden.
The Garden.
Garden.
I was 2 miles and had to get out of the cab and run because we thought we were going to be late. And we were 2 blocks away. We were so scared and nervous. It was our first game. You don't want to be late. And, what are they going to do to you as a rookie? And, it was like I said, the nervous energy before the game, and then once I got out, once you put your skates on, it's okay. Everybody's kind of normal. They don't make you feel like a rookie. They try to make you belong.
That's
and
good.
I just went out there and I did my thing.
That's awesome.
So the Bruins obviously have it's a historic franchise for many different reasons, but one of them, they had the first black player in the NHL that played for Willie O'Ree, played for the Boston Bruins. So I guess being that you went to that franchise, was that something that you even thought about, or was just this is my shot to play in the NHL?
My shot to play in the NHL. I mean, to be honest with you, if someone would have asked me back then, did you know Will O'Ree, I would have probably said no.
Yeah.
I just wasn't something I really thought about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew Tony McKechnie, who was playing in the NHL, was playing at the time. Grant Fuhr was playing at the time.
Yeah.
So I knew those guys were in the league.
Right.
And I knew, I didn't know him. I knew Tony probably the best, and now Grant and I are really good friends now.
Okay.
And there was a few other guys who were playing. Dale Craigwell playing for San Jose. So there were guys playing around in the league.
Right.
And but it wasn't that thought that didn't come to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think of you're in Boston, probably the most racist place around.
Yes.
You didn't. And when people ask me about that, I go, no, people weren't racist to me. As I think because I played for the Bruins.
Yeah.
You
go to Bruins.
That was it.
Yeah.
I played for the Bruins, and again, tough guys.
Right.
Everybody loved the tough guys on the team. You get in a fight, they're chanting your name. They might not chant the guy who scores a goal. So that was the other position.
Mm-hmm.
Might have made it a little easier playing there.
Mm-hmm.
But I said I loved playing in Boston. It was the
Really?
rink was so small. Guys couldn't escape. Like
Yeah.
Can't get away.
I'm like, like you got him here, type of thing. So it was just that whole city, and then people engulfed me, brought me in. I mean, the building manager for the Fenway Park.
Okay.
I got to go around in the whole entire, but we're still good friends, him and I.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Got to go in there and watch batting practice and venture around and see spots that a normal person wouldn't get to see in Boston. So
You're really embraced there, man.
Yeah,
you're part of the team.
I loved it. And I lived there once. I actually lived in Rhode Island for the summer in
It's Providence.
And no, what's the thing on the water there?
God, it just left my head. It'll come to me. I can't think of it.
Not the Cape.
It's. I know what you're talking.
It's like a summer place. Though.
Yeah. God, why can't I think of this?
I lived there for 5 weeks.
Is it Newport?
Newport. Yeah,
there we go.
I probably shouldn't have lived there, but I did.
Boy, Newport, Rhode Island is a beautiful place.
Beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
And the thing about Boston is there's some race things to it, but
Absolutely.
it's more like if you're a Bruin, you cool. Like if you're a Red Sox, we good. If you're a Celtic, you good. If you're not from Boston,
right.
I don't know who you are anyway.
Get out of here.
One guy with the Bruins, Ray Bork, Hall of Famer. Know a little bit about him because he came to the Avalanche, won a Stanley Cup when I grew up in Colorado. So how was playing with Ray Bork?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was the most gentleman of gentlemen's. Just an amazing player and a great teammate.
Oh, dope.
You know, he was the leader in the room. He didn't say a lot. You know, he wasn't piping up and rah, rah, rah type thing. But when Ray said something, the room would go quiet.
Yeah.
Wow.
The coach could be talking, and I could hear guys over there still whispering about something. But Ray Bork had something to say, and it was like, what's Ray got to say? That's what we're doing. You know,
Right.
Unbelievable. Like, really. And I actually, when he won the Stanley Cup with Colorado, I actually texted him. I was like, congratulations,
Yeah.
Bubba. Like, what a great guy.
Yeah. And he was a defenseman, right? But he was always kind of up in the points all the time, and that's not usually normal, right? So like
he was like Bobby Orr. So Bobby Orr back in his day was probably the best player on the team,
right?
And he was a defenseman, and Bobby could score at any time at will. But Ray, he was just like, you know, here's a quick story with Ray.
Okay.
Face-off one at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
Ray would get the puck because he always started, and he would get the puck and he would take a slap shot from the red line at the goalie. So I'd seen it. I'd been on the ice, not really paying attention. And one day the puck went back, and I whipped around and I cut through the middle, and he took a shot and it zipped right by my face, and it went right on the goal. And I get to the bench, and he's like, "Banksy, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "What? I was going, man." And he goes, "You know, I shoot at the goalie because I guess," and he's probably scored some goals doing it.
Sure,
but I just wasn't thinking, and I seen anything just zip by my face, and you know, he's like, "What are you doing?"
The legend.
That's awesome. So you're the OG of enforcers, man, before the Ryan Reeves that we have here, man. So how did you embody that other than just wanting to whoop some ass? But you were a wing, right? That was your position. Who did you look toward? Because you said you looked at certain people and like, oh, I like that. And how did you identify that's the position you wanted?
It kind of grew on me.
Gotcha.
You know, it was I was always a physical player. I've always played physical. I love hitting. I love sticking up for my teammates. So if somebody was beating up one of my teammates, I'm the first guy to jump in, and loved it. Like, just a big grin on my face. You know, if anybody that knows me has ever even meet me now, I'm always smiling. And when I was on the ice, I was still smiling. And then the old Jekyll and Hyde eyes probably rolled back in the back of my head, and you know, I turned into something else. But I was out there, but I was always smiling, always having a good time. But I love playing physical, and if there was a fight to be had, why not? You know, and if, you know, guys. I mean, Ryan Reeves could tell you right now, guys don't get hurt in fights. Very, very. A guy gets his jaw broken. Again,
hold on.
Right.
You just said
He said, guys don't get
that's just
hurt.
a regular injury.
yeah, but it doesn't happen very often. You got a better chance of getting your jaw broken skating around a puck in the face.
Yeah, that
How
makes
I got
sense.
my jaw broken.
Okay.
But getting punched in the face, it doesn't hurt. Like, it does not hurt at all. Oh, stitches, big deal. Like, you get stitched up. No,
Yeah.
you
That's
know.
hockey tough
They
right there.
say hockey players are built different.
Built different.
Yeah. Like, you don't sit on the ice and cry about a little bump or a scrape. Now the way the rules are played, you'll see a guy get a stick across the face, and he'll die on the ice like it's someone just shot his grandmother. Like, and you're like, what are they doing? But they're trying to draw penalties.
Right.
Gotcha.
They're not hurt, and they've also learned not to play through those things. Where we were played is, are you hurt or are you injured?
That's they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I am so glad you brought that up.
They don't do that anymore.
This was a question I had. And this may be an ignorant question, but this is definitely a question I had, right? So the NBA, the average career is 4 years. NFL, the average career is about 3.3. Baseball is around 5.4 years. NHL is like 5 years, 5.5. Now, when I think of hockey, you just said it. The rink is small. Those boards are not soft. That puck is frozen and moving fast. The players are big.
Moving fast.
The skates are blades.
Weapons.
It's a physical game. and the ground is ice. So it's unforgiving. But I guess it seems like hockey players can play for a long time. So I guess what about the game allows you to extend your career?
Doesn't have that much beat up on your body, or maybe they just take it.
It's 82 games in the NHL season
yes.
too, right? So like, what about the game that
no load management?
So that seems like a recipe for injury to
Absolutely.
me. But for some reason they play longer.
14 years.
And then, yeah. And then what about your personal regimen? How did you stay healthy through that time?
Well, I never played 82 games. I can tell you that right now. I might have been suspended.
That's like
more than once. I might have been suspended more than once, but pull your groins. That was like that was a common for me. Now these guys, they're better. They're in better condition, way better condition we are. These guys are in the yoga, stretching. I stretch like I didn't stretch, and probably maybe would have played longer and maybe healthier. But to answer that question, I don't know. I mean, now my body, I'm 50, whatever now. It's beat up sometimes, and I'm whining about little things like, oh, why does my back hurt? Like, where did this weird pain come from? And my dad said it to me. He goes, "You've been in probably over more than 2,000 violent collisions."
Right?
Yes.
And he goes, "That's not normal
At all."
Goes, so things might be out of whack now. Your shoulders. I mean, I've had 6-7 surgeries on my shoulders, none on my knee, thank God, but my hands and stuff like that and face. But it just, to answer the question why, I don't know. Like, and I always look at football players and I go,
yeah,
pussies. I don't know if I can say that word, but I
wouldn't go that far.
One game a week? Are you kidding me? One game a week and you guys can't. But yeah, violent collisions, right?
Yeah.
But unexpected collisions again, but so were ours.
Okay.
Right.
You had the puck, and we move a lot faster on skates than you can on your feet.
The field is the area is smaller too.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I can't answer the question why. Just we seem to play through it. And again, are you hurt? Are you injured? Hurt? If you're injured, you can't play.
You can't play.
If
Yeah.
you're hurt, you can probably play through being hurt. And we back then, you learned to play through. There'd be guys with you'll hear about it in playoffs, and they'll be like, "Oh, he had a broken tibia. Now he's got to get it fixed at the end of the season." How did he play on it? Because you kind of mind over matter type of thing. And I say it now, and it might be a problem the kids have nowadays, but Stanley Cup finals, I'm saying, why aren't you trying to hurt that guy? Because I'm trying to hurt him. I want to win. I don't care if I knock his teeth out, he breaks his leg, he can't skate. I want the cup at the end. If my mother's on the other team, she's getting run over just like everybody else. But they don't think like that. They think, hey, that's my buddy. I don't want to hurt him. Well, guess what? He'll heal. And their mentality's not that way anymore. Yeah. And they've moved the rules that way. And I know hockey's different. And I mean, I love the sport.
Right.
Even now, I mean, these guys are crazy fast, crazy fast. And taking the red eye out of the game I think is kind of dangerous because it only makes these guys faster.
Yeah.
Where if you put it back in, they got to slow down a little bit. They can't have 2-line passes. So your answer to that question of why we play much longer could have been heart, could have been will.
Yeah.
But
built different.
Yeah.
I mean, you can call it whatever, because, a broken jaw, I'm going to sit out. As a former football player, if I got a broken jaw, I'm going to take a week off.
Man, I'm still getting punched in the face. I'm still caught up on that. He's going to punch me in the face. All right, man. So we do have to move forward, but so we want a little talk about in the game, what you're working on presently. So, currently you're executive casino host at the D. Now, kind of explain that, and then I wanted to ask, is it cross properties? Because it's just more than that, property you guys have in that portfolio. So tell us a little bit about your current role.
Yeah, now my role is I'm the VIP executive host, and it's to bring in players, gamblers, right? And I meet and greet everybody, hug, kiss, everything with the customer and get them the needs that they want. It could be a limo ride. It could be, picking up from the airport, making sure their room's ready when they get here, making sure maybe he wants a case of beer in his room, all those little amenities for their room to make them happy, comfortable when they're here.
And a great experience for
yes.
them.
And the one thing that we have at the D, at the Golden Gate, and soon to be Circa, is customer service. We're here to make sure you have the time of your life on, whatever day you're here, and hopefully that the time that you had that you want to return, it could be 2 weeks, could be 1 week, could be 1 month, could be 4 months. We want you to return. We don't want you to have to go to other casinos because you didn't enjoy your time with
awesome.
us.
So how'd you get into the role? How did that transition?
Well, believe it or not, Derek Stevens, who owns the D and all these properties now, is a friend of mine from back in Detroit.
Okay.
And he invited me out one day, and I came out, and then our conversation turned to is, would you like to move to Vegas? And I'm like, what about, he asked me, what about Vegas don't you like?
Right.
And I'm like, when do you want me here? I quit my job more or less on the spot, and I was back out here in, less than 5 weeks. I think I was back.
That's amazing, man.
I just dropped everything, and I was here. I love it here.
It's a great city.
That's a shoot your shot as well.
Definitely is.
So, but you actually spent a little time here in Vegas, right? So during your hockey career, so with the Thunder, right, we just actually inducted him to the Las Vegas Sports Hall of Fame. So how was that stint? How long were you here? How was it playing here?
I was here parts of 2 seasons.
Okay.
And this is 95, I think, and 90, I don't remember what years it was, but
94, 95?
Yeah, and then part of another season. But anyways, I was here, and we used to hang out at the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
I was like,
and that's what's crazy. Like, people that have been here, like the Hard Rock used to be like the epicenter of like a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stories have a Hard Rock component to them.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even tell you the things I was doing back then, but Caesars and those properties didn't really mean much to me. We would go there, but no, we went to the Hard Rock. So playing here, we had great teams, and I think there's 10 guys that still live here that I played with.
Oh, dope. Okay.
So great nucleus of guys, and it was just so fun, and we were so good. Like, very good teams, very well coached, great general managers, great owners, and it was just fun playing here, and that's probably why guys stayed, after their careers were ending. They stayed here, and I remember the one team we had, there was, out of the 27 guys, I think 24 of us had played at least one game in the NHL.
Oh, wow.
So we
There's some talent.
Yeah, we were really talented players.
Stacked.
We had really talented players, and it was fun. It was great playing here. The city doesn't look anything like it did back then. I live out in Summerlin, and Summerlin Parkway wasn't here.
Yeah.
So the only thing was there was a golf course, and so it was, the city's really changed. But I couldn't wait for the opportunity to come back here, and I mean, this city's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
What from your days of playing? I mean, kind of the locker room, obviously, and meeting, having different relationships with different people from all across the world. How does that play into your job now? As you said, in the D Hotel, you guys are big on customer service. How does that play into your job now?
Well, my personality when I played, I was, I won't say I was a team leader, but I was kind of like, I wasn't following other guys, but guys were following me.
Okay.
And I like to have all the guys together all the time. I was like, come on, let's party. If we're going to go to a bar, let's everybody go to the bar. Like, what are you staying home for? No, everybody goes. Let's, I was the happy-go-lucky, like to have a good time. And could have been a downfall of my career, but who cares? I had a good time.
14 years.
Yeah, but I had a good time, and maybe could have played some more games in the NHL, but whatever. It is what it is. I don't resent it. But I like to have a good time, and I love meeting people. And now my job is meeting different people every day.
Right.
Every day I meet somebody different. Awesome. I don't always remember your name. I remember your face, or I might remember what you drink. So
Cabernet.
I know this now, but my job is like that now. So now I'm meeting from old people, young people, women, men, transvestites, whatever. I meet everybody, and I have fun with everybody, and that's part of my role, is to make sure everybody, again, customer service. We can't strive that anymore in our properties, is to make sure that everybody has fun at all times.
Not only the game of hockey, but growing up in Toronto, I've heard that. I've never been to Toronto, but I've heard it's a melting pot of a million different cultures and things like that. Does that play into how you kind of relate to people now?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna meet. I may meet a Chinese lady that doesn't speak English very well,
right?
But sometime I'll figure out some way to communicate with her, and make that connection with her, and to the point where she's turning around and she might not understand, but I get that look or whatever it is, and we understand each other for a brief moment and get what we need done.
Nice.
And again, playing hockey, you play with a lot of. I played with some guys who couldn't speak English when they first started with us from Russia. Couldn't speak English at all. And to go through the season and watch them progress into learning English, and you communicating him and trying to learn Russian or trying to learn Swedish, and having fun with it, And obviously back then, it was a little different. You could say things to each other you can't say now.
Yeah, it's a little,
right.
A little bit different.
Time's a little different now.
So, and back in those days, I got to remember not to use that thing now, but it was fun, and it was all in fun, right? It wasn't done maliciously or anything, but it was all done in fun. And now it's, I meet a lot of different people and have to wear different hats sometimes with different people. I got to be a little more proper with that guy. Oh no, this guy's crazy. I got to be crazy with him. Just make them feel good. Yeah. And it's not a hard thing to do. I mean, some people might have a difficulty talking to different people or acting in different ways, where I can be myself, be as crazy as I want to be, but know when to be more reserved when I have to be around certain people.
Absolutely.
And because you've had, like, with all the experiences you've had, and you can be yourself on multiple different levels, you know what I mean? So, and still be your true self.
Layers.
So with your passion and your love for hockey, have you been able to incorporate that with your job currently? I mean, with the Knights in town, and then with, like, your relationship. Like, I didn't know that many people, guys from the Thunder, still lived here. So just from the cities you've traveled, the places you've been, have you been able to kind of incorporate that with your job?
Yeah, I've incorporated huge with my job. Okay. I mean, seriously, if I pull on my phone and you just start scrolling names, guys live everywhere. Everywhere. So I'm calling guys, hey, look I got this. We got this new property coming, 6 Pools Sports Book. And I'm calling guys who I haven't talked to in 15 years.
Yes.
But, and you can, guys, again, when I kept that communication with guys, and I still do, and guys will be like, first call I'll get to be like, hey, Banksy, do you know where so-and-so is? Have you talked to him? Yeah, I think I talked to him like a year ago. Oh, like 3 months ago. You're like, you still keep in contact? I'm like, yeah, I keep in contact with everyone.
That's awesome,
I try to
man.
make it, and I'll some days just scroll through my phone and just say, like, I haven't heard from that guy in a while. Let me call him and see what he's doing. And they get so excited and be like, Banksy, thank you for calling. Really appreciate it. Can't believe, you're still keeping in contact. And then with all this social networking, I mean, I'm not great at it, but I try to throw it out there. And then when I see somebody make a comment I haven't heard from, I immediately respond back to them.
That's fantastic.
And say, hey, what's going on? Because, again, contacts is, it's like your book that you work when you work as a host. You got to have a book of people, and you never know who you know sometimes. And how some people have progressed. I mean, I know a guy now who was okay when we were kids and younger, and now he's one of the richest guys in Canada. Yeah. And you would never think that back then. And just, you don't know who you're going to meet sometimes. Right. And I try to keep those connections. Obviously you can't call everybody or text everybody, but you can throw them out there. And with COVID, I found that people got closer with people.
Yes.
They were sending texts to people they haven't talked to in ages, And again, I've always tried to keep those contacts with people, like me or don't like me. And I might be talking to a guy that hates me, but whatever. If he's willing to talk back to me, then obviously he don't hate me that much.
Right. No, that's a lost skill, actually picking up the phone and calling people.
And just reaching out, staying in contact, and not for needing something, right? Like, just to reach out and just be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, I would rather not call somebody and ask them for anything where I know I have some friends I know, and I'll be like, oh, what?
What do they want?
What do they want? It's not a phone call saying, hey, Banksy, what's happening?
Right.
How's your Wednesday? It's like, oh, I'm like, oh, God, what do they got now? Yeah. And I roll it, but I don't have to answer that phone.
Right.
But I do, though, even though they still have, and I'll listen, right? Like, you never know. It could be something serious, last day on the earth for all I know, and they're making that phone call. But I keep those contacts, and I try to reach out to people and try to stay in contact and let them know what I'm doing or where I'm at. I mean, like I said, I'm an open book.
That's awesome.
I got nothing to hide. Awesome. Here I am, haven't changed, still nuts, still single.
And what you do, it warrants maybe that, right? Like, because you out there.
Yeah, I don't know if the wife would be really happy with me being out to 4 in the morning every night.
And what's tough is that's the nature of the business, like when you have a high roller or someone calls you like, hey, I want to come to town, like you said, and with you guys being so big on customer service, you're there with a smile, man, and making sure they have the best time.
You better answer your phone. And guess what? Everybody don't live in your time zone.
Right.
So, I got a friend texts me almost, when he does text, it's 4:30 in the morning here. And I like to make fun of him because I'll be like, where you know what time it was? And he doesn't even say anything. And I'll be like, okay.
Okay, right.
You get it back one day.
I'm going to get you. All right. Hey, we want to jump into these quick hits. Miles, I have a couple questions for you. So our quick hits are sponsored by Thick Fit. When it comes to your health, it starts in the kitchen. Thick Fit Meal Prep is here to help you along your journey, providing healthy, delicious meals that are easy on the go, fitting everyone's lifestyle. Call 702-850-3388 or follow them on Instagram, Thick Fit Meal Prep. Use the #black and get a free additional meal on us. What you got, Miles?
Mr. Banks, first time, if ever, that you were starstruck.
Oh, wow. I don't even know. I don't know. It's probably happened, but I don't remember.
Okay. Shout out to a guy that you had a fight with that you was like, yeah, I'm about to take care of that. And shout out to a guy that you were in a fight with that you was like, this is gonna be a difficult one.
I was one of my best friends, Kerry Clark.
Okay.
He's Wendell Clark's brother, who you've probably heard, Toronto Maple Leafs
Yes.
King.
Mm-hmm.
I used to fight him almost every game I played against him.
On site.
And he knew it. Like, there was no if, ands, or doubts. It was going to happen. Now, the second part, Tony Twist, played for St. Louis Blues. I knew he was tough. I wasn't sure how tough he was, but I knew it was going to be a battle for me. And we ended up having 3 fights in 2 games back to back. So it was,
Battling.
Yeah, that was kind of made my career a little bit at the beginning.
So you mentioned the championship, the trophies. Which is the best, and I think I know your answer, but we'll get to number 2 if I think I know your answer. So, which is the best team sport or just major professional sports? What's the best looking trophy to you?
Stanley Cup.
Okay, I figured it's going to go there. What would be number 2?
The Super Bowl. I forget what it's called, though.
The Lombardi.
Lombardi Trophy, yeah.
Lombardi's number 2.
I think that's a cool trophy.
What would be the worst one?
I'm not really sure what the basketball trophy looks like.
Because
I know what the
Larry O'Brien.
Larry O.B.
Is it the one with the basket with the
goal?
like the net hanging down? The baseball's with all the flags, right?
Yeah, the baseball has the pennants.
Yeah,
like
both of those 2 trophies. I don't know, basketball and baseball. I mean, when they win the World Series and they hold that thing around once, the Stanley Cup, every guy wants to hold that thing.
I
on
love
the
it. And they hold it up, they pass it around.
Yeah, and
nice
it's
Eat cereal out of it the next day.
a 35-pound trophy. You're not picking up with one hand,
Right.
holding it in the air. No, you need both hands. You got to be a man and hold that thing over your head. I don't care if I tell you right now, there's been guys whose arms are broken, and I'm telling you, they find a way to get that trophy over their head. They'll get it over their head when they win it.
No, that's big time. The worst looking trophy to me is World Cup's trophy.
That's a little ball, right?
That little is they represent their whole country and they hold up this little.
Well, I thought we were gonna go like tennis. Isn't it like a cheese platter?
No, that Wimbledon. That's number 2 for me. That Wimbledon trophy is number 2.
I don't, but those aren't team trophies though.
So, but to the team trophy, the
World Cup,
that Fisher Price trophy is terrible.
But the Masters. Winning that green jacket is
that green jacket is nice.
Now,
too.
I was at the Masters last year.
Okay.
And it was on my bucket list. And if you've never been, I don't even care. If you like golf a little bit, you gotta go.
I agree.
You don't understand that golf course until you've seen it in person.
Wow. Augusta.
Unbelievable.
Okay. All right. So jumping into the winner's circle, this is where we talk about what you got going on and what's coming up, and we're really excited. You want to talk about Circa. You briefly mentioned that as one of the properties that's under you guys' portfolio. So tell us about Circa.
I'm telling you, if you've never been to Las Vegas, or better than that, if you've been to Las Vegas, and you probably think going on the Strip, see the Bellagio, Venetian, these places are great, awesome. Circa is going to blow it away.
Let's go.
Let's get into the details.
Let's go. Tell us more.
Our sports book is 3 levels. 3 levels of sports book. You got TV screen. There ain't a game you can't see. In every position, high, low, laying down in a chair that lounges back, couches. It's hard to explain this. I'm trying to think what's the biggest one here. It might be the thing at the Westgate, which is kind of like a stadium.
Yeah, probably.
This is stadium seating, couches, unbelievable. And you can see it from everywhere in the casino. Our pool, stadium swim, 6 pools, 3 levels, 2 hot tubs at the end, 145-foot TV screen. Do I have to say more? Rock sound, concert sound outside. Customer service, pool open 365 days a year.
Wow.
In the winter, we're going to heat it so you can still get in the water.
Man, where's Clues drop the bombs on it every time he says so? We need the bombs dropped everything he said, every amenity.
I mean, what else do we want? Oh, wait a minute. Legacy Club on the roof of the building. So
I was going to ask.
take a little foundation room. Let's go
Okay.
take it and put it upstairs. Nice, classy area. Maybe go outside with a little fireplace, look around, see the whole entire city from up there. You want to see north, you want to see south, you want to see east, you want to see west. You see it all from the Legacy Club. No TVs. This isn't going up there as sports fans. You go up there with your boys. You go up there with your gal. You go up there with a group of gals. Or you got. It is the spot to go late night. Maybe as watch the sun go down.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Might be a nice spot for you. Restaurant. Barry's. What am I going to say about Barry's? Everybody knows Barry from Nine Steakhouse.
Yeah.
An amazing chef.
Yeah.
This steakhouse gonna rock your socks off.
Chef Barry's got a
Chef
little
Barry's.
spot. Shout out to Chef Barry.
Hang on, we're gonna hang over the sports book. We want a burger and wings.
Yeah.
We
I
go
do
to
want some
Victory
wings.
Burger.
I love wings.
Victory. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
The Banks barbecue burger is there.
Yeah, we got a signature burger on the
The
menu.
signature burger is
Okay.
at the Victory Burger. You're gonna go right in there. You can still watch the game
It'll
from
break
Victory
your
Burger.
jaw, huh?
No, it won't break your jaw. This one just melts. You want little noodles? We got 80s. So the guys own Latai down here. Their menu's on there.
Dope.
Then we got Saginaw's delicatessen. So we're going to get deli sandwiches. No, we're not closing this place. We're leaving it open 24 hours. You can go there and get a sandwich and all the things that they have. And I don't know if you know Zingerman's, but if you're in the Detroit area, Flint area, Zingerman's, delicatessen, unbelievable. Like the sandwiches are unreal. What else we got? I'm probably missing something. I can't think of it right now.
I mean, shit, y'all.
We're missing something. I don't know what another restaurant. But anyways, there's 5 restaurants. There's a Vegas Vicky. Everybody remembers Vegas Vicky back in the day, hanging downtown.
Yeah.
She's in the building. Renovated Vegas Vicky. Looking hot. Looking hot.
Brought her back, boy.
Yeah, we brought Vegas Vicky back. She looks cleaner. She looks good.
She got facelift and got all the surgery, got everything, got all the work done.
She got her cosmetic surgery done. She's looking good.
That's what's up. So why there was a conscious move to make it 21 or older? What was the kind of approach for that? Is it filling a niche that you think that's missing? What was the thought behind that?
I think it was a little, and I can't speak completely about it because I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But I think it was something to bring back old Vegas, where back in the day everybody was 20. There was no kids running around, and it's kind of weird when you walk in a casino nowadays, especially at midnight, and you see these kids in strollers, and I don't understand the parents that bring their kids here, especially the young ones. Do they want to see people that they don't know inebriated? Like, I just don't think it's a place for kids. And why not make everybody 21? And it makes it easier for the customers. People watching. Do you want to watch your language when you're? Kids aren't supposed to be staying on the table, on the casino floors, anyways.
Right.
But adults use adult language, and you don't want your 8-year-old to hear that or your 12-year-old. So I think that was part of the reasoning.
Gotcha.
And then, go to the pool. There's no crying babies out there.
It just gives it an adult vibe. It's a different vibe when
And again, it's just fun. We're here to have fun. And all you're going to do when you come to Circa is have fun. But it's always been like that at the D, and it's always been like that at the Golden Gate. Now this is just a bigger property. Obviously, a lot more money, but it's going to be it's something to see. In 30, 40 million people come to Vegas every year.
Right.
I'm pretty sure 80% of them are going to come downtown at least once.
Just to check
and guess
everything.
what? Come down and see me. I'll be at the Long Bar. I'll be at the Mega Bar. I will be there.
Hit him on his social media. So we were talking before the show.
Barbecue.
Right. Hit him, and he will definitely see you at one of those spots. He'll find you where you are. But you guys, testament to downtown has changed, right? We talked about early on, you said your days from being here playing with the Thunder to when you move back, how the town has changed, right? From, living in Summerlin to what it looks like now. Downtown has the same thing, and you guys with the Circa are changing the skyline. Just even coming off the ramp to get down here to the studio, you see it. I'm like, oh, there it is. That's the first property that's been built from ground up in downtown since like over 40 years or something like that.
40 years. And then right now, I think you can pretty much see Circa from anywhere in the city. I don't care if you're in Henderson, Summerlin, you can see it, and we haven't even lit it up yet. You haven't even seen it lit up. So I think somebody said about maybe 2 weeks ago they were testing the TV screen, and people thought the building was lit up. And I go, no, it was the TV. That's a TV screen that's outside at the pool. So you can imagine what that looks like at nighttime.
I love it. So give me differences, or just so our listeners understand. So there's Circa, the property, and then there's Circa Sports. So talk about what the balance is and how does that work out and how they work together, I guess.
So Circa Sports is obviously, you can get the Circa Sports app on your phone. And while you're in the state of Nevada, you can gamble on your phone on Circa Sports.
Oh, okay.
And it's also, Circa Sports is in Colorado.
Oh,
so we launched that in July 1st, I think it was. And we're going to hit more states. So Circa Sports mobile app is, and we have the best odds out there, I would think, and we take a lot of different bets that some casinos won't take. So Matt Metcalf, these guys are unbelievable. Our sports guys, I mean, I went in the war room a couple times to see what these guys do, and it's amazing. I never seen a guy looking at 6 TV screens and throwing up lines on, and he's just doing baseball. I mean, these guys are unbelievable, hard workers in a room. And I went in there, and I'm a talker, right? Like I like to talk and goof around and stuff. I went in there and I just kept my mouth shut. I didn't say nothing. I didn't know if I was supposed to say a peep.
Right.
Did I say hello? I didn't say anything. I just stood there and looked around.
Didn't want to mess up the vibe.
I was like a kid on Christmas just waiting to open up his toys. So it's unbelievable to see that. And but Circa Sports, and then obviously Circa the hotel, 7. And when they finish it, when we open, I think we're only opening with 500 and X amount rooms.
Okay, and when is that? Because you're talking about doing like a dual opening, right?
So it's going to be open December 28th.
So that's okay.
That's when the hotel's going to open, and we're going to open with 500 and odd number. I don't know what the exact number is.
Just a couple floors, right? Floors, and then the casino, right?
We're going to open up everything except for, I think, 30. We have 35 floors. I think we're only opening 30 floors.
Okay.
So they're going to leave some rooms because they want to test it to see, do we want more suites? Do we want more 2-bedroom suites?
Oh.
So they're not going to open the whole entire thing. It's supposed to be 777 rooms.
Okay.
Imagine that number. 777. Cha-ching. Hit that slot machine. But anyways.
Bling, 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 bling,
So yeah, so it's a little different, Circa Sports. But like I said, if you've been to the D and you've seen Ivan, the bartender, who you can't miss him, he's crazy hair, fun bartender.
Flair bartender.
He'll still be there. He'll still be at the D. We're not going to lose those guys. The guys are at the gate. The girls are at the gate. Bar Canada, that's up in, that never really got its official opening in the D because it happened right at COVID. We never officially opened the bar. So now it's open, and it's all, and we're really pushing for Canadians to come here. Like, hey, listen, it's going to be your hockey spot. It's going to be the hockey bar. So you're going to come up to Bar Canada where we have, Canadian beers and stuff like that.
We'll get you some Molson Ice.
No, we don't sell that stuff no more. I don't think.
He's like, nope.
Molson Ice. No, just Molson's, Labatt's, and a few other Canadian beers. But yeah, so a lot of different themes. And then when, like I said, these new bars at Circa, the Mega Bar, the Overhang Bar, whatever. God, I can't even remember all the names. There's so many.
Well, you got a lot of spots opening, man. So you guys are providing a lot of jobs opportunities too, man.
Yeah,
so
there's still people, if they want to come here, there's still jobs that are available. So, if you go on circasports.com and go on there, there's still jobs that we're still looking to fill. And I imagine that's going to happen for a while.
That's awesome.
The vision of Circa Sports, man. Where did that start? Can you talk me, kind of bring me to the start of the vision of it?
Well, the vision is Derek and Greg Stevens. And it probably started with Derek. Well, we bought the Las Vegas club 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. He bought it. And next thing you know, he bought all the little properties around and the other little casinos around and started knocking down. So he had the vision. And I mean, if you've seen the invitation book, and I don't know if they're ever going to sell it. It's possible they might. Okay. But the invitation for the Circa opening, there's some of his plans in there, his original plans of what he was thinking through his head and what his visions and how he thought it might look. And, Derek and I, we used to go on, it was called Pool Sunday. And we would Visionary Pool Sunday. We'd go to different pools around the city to get ideas.
Nice.
And I remember the one time we went with the builder and we were going in the pool and we had a magic marker, and I'll never forget it. We had a magic marker and we were marking off spots on his body with a magic marker of the levels that we wanted at the pool. Wow. So, you're 5 foot, whatever, click, make that mark on his chest, because we don't want the pool to be too high, too low. You don't want a guy. Now, the only person it might be a problem for is Big George. I don't know if you've ever seen Big George Bell that lives in town. He's 7'8", played for the Harlem Globetrotters.
7'8"?
Yeah, I don't think his waist would still be out of the water.
He got bad knees, I know that much.
But he comes down to the D once in a while. You ever come down to the D, you'll see a guy named, his name's George Bell. He's 7. He's second tallest man in North America.
Gee.
George Bell.
But yeah, so we did these pool days of getting different ideas, and I'd give my 2 cents. I don't know if it ever got implemented or not, but I'd be like, hey, this would be a good idea.
So how is it working with him, man? Because, like, just on the marketing front and just, like, the way his mind works, like, I've sat down with him and, I needed a break. So how is it, man, for him to put these visions together? I mean, because, like you said, it started with the D, and then now he's changing. Like, you guys are literally changing
Well,
downtown.
remember, he bought Golden Gate 11 years ago.
Oh,
So
really?
he owned the Golden Gate first.
First.
So he owned the Golden Gate, and he slowly started making changes there. I don't know if you've ever been in the Golden Gate even 9 years ago. Where the high limit area is, that was the bathroom.
Wow.
So the place is really, and working with Derek, it is amazing. The things that he thinks of, the things that he remembers, could be a simple conversation you might have with him.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow he turns around and goes, I could use that. And then all of a sudden you'll see something and you'll be like, did I hear that mentioned before? You don't know where you heard it.
Right.
And we might have been having a few libations at the bar. And it's like,
At
damn.
the long bar.
And it's not like he wrote it down. He's
Right.
like, he remembered it. And all of a sudden here we are with this little niche or that little niche. And he comes up, he's so visionary. And this guy thinks out of the box more than anybody. And the silent partner is his brother, who you guys don't know.
Right.
Who's the guy the way things look in the casino is his brother. He's the engineer.
He's the engineer, yeah.
So, those two sitting down, there's probably a few family arguments. I would assume, but I don't know with Derek though. I've never seen the guy get mad. Like, I don't try to get him mad, but I probably have, but I've never, he just doesn't show it sometimes. So, but yeah, he's a very intelligent, very visionary, and Vegas should be happy for a guy like that to be in his town.
Well, yeah, even like the beginning of COVID, when first the casinos were opening up, he was giving that flyaway, like where he was buying flights to come to Vegas, but you didn't have to come to the D. He was just like, no, I am buying flights, just come, because if the city's doing good, everyone's doing good, and that's just, like you said, that's just a testament to him. And he does like multiple things. And I think you guys did 2 rounds of it because the first round went so fast.
And the first round went so fast, and we were like, Derek, we didn't get Florida in here. Florida didn't get to come here. Oh, okay, let's get those guys in. So it was just, he's so quick on his feet and thinking. And and another guy, some people probably don't know, is Tony Shea that owns Zappos.
Yep.
All of a sudden he started moving east down Fremont. All of a sudden you got Container Park and some of these apartment
Fremont
buildings.
East.
And this is all Tony Shea moving down here and buying things and cleaning it up. And, someone that hasn't been to Vegas in, I would say, 10 years, and they were down here, to be like, downtown. Oh, it's kind of not a nice spot. And they've just cleaned it up and moved people away. And, that bad element that was around. And it's a fun place to be. And, hopefully when this COVID thing's over, we got the bands playing back outside.
Because you guys, the event center, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, the event center. People don't even know we own that.
Yep.
And
the downtown event center.
That place can hold 8,000 people. We've had boxing matches out there. And I remember, I don't know if you guys even remember, but we had motocross and snowboarding.
At
the same time.
UNLV did a kickoff, like their Midnight Madness thing down there.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
The Raiders party, launch parties, hockey parties,
playoffs.
Like just, they think of so much in the Fremont. You got to look at Fremont Street itself. All the different people that are involved in that. This is a great place to visit. And now we're gonna have a great casino that you don't have to stay at the Bellagio. You could come downtown and get that same amenity here that you think you're getting there, and then be able to visit the Golden Nugget, be able to visit Fremont, be able to visit all those different casinos and not take you 40 minutes to walk across the street.
Facts. Well, really quick what's the Garage Mahal? Like I saw it on the news the other night. What is that supposed to be?
So Garage Mahal is actually an experience.
You see the way his eyes lit up with that?
An experience.
You saw that, right? Okay.
That's like when I go sports book, pool, Garage Mahal. You're like, Garage Mahal, what the hell's that?
That's right.
It's our parking garage, man. Like, this is an experience going there. You pull up in a valet, you're going to get an experience coming through valet. You pull up your self-park. You're going to walk in and you're going to park your car. You're going to come across, car secure, walk right across the building, across the walkway. It's an experience. The VIPs have 90 spots. 90 spots. So say you're Oscar De La Hoya wants to come in here and he wants to drive his Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
We got a spot for him to park his Ferrari and he doesn't worry about it.
Nice.
He can come in there if Money Man there, what's his name, Mayweather. Floyd wants to come
Money
in.
Man.
I mean, he's going to have 55 people with him, but they got their cars. They'll be able to pull in there and get their spot, and they don't have to worry about it. We'll take care of their cars, secure their cars. So Garage Mahal is like its own experience. You come in there, it's going to be playing music like it is at the casino.
Oh, so it's going to be jumping.
Big time.
Right, it's like parking lot pimping on to the next level.
Let out. Yeah, I'll be at the garage.
Well, yeah. Oh, man, where y'all, man? We at Garage Mahal tonight, son. Turn up.
You'll be in there. Unfortunately, there'll be no machines in there, but you'll be in there like, this is an experience. Garage Mahal, I mean, it's fun. It's well lit. It's very safe.
That's awesome.
Again, we made the parking garage fun.
That's dope.
So that's
Hey, from soon as you pull up to all the time you're in there, just gonna be an experience. Well, hey, it's sad because we've been having too much fun, but this is kind of the wrap up of the show. We call it the assist. All right, so this is where you get to put on your coaching hat. Philosophize a little bit, but leave us with, maybe a quote that you live by, just something you would tell your younger self, but just a quick kind of the assist.
Oh, you guys always put me on the spot in the show. My biggest quote, I guess, is, we're only on this earth once. We're only here once. No matter, you might think you might come back as something else. But when you're here, let's love each other.
Absolutely.
Let's enjoy each other. Let's be safe. And let's have a good time.
Boy, now that's the way to end this, man. This has been amazing. Hey, thank you so much, man. We appreciate having you, man. We're excited for Circa, so make sure if you're in town, if you can get in town, check it out. It opens next week. We're going to put all this information in the show notes so you know where to go. Even get a job, right? Why not? I know some of y'all are hurting out there. But just want to thank the people for listening. Please, tune in. Follow us on Black in Sports on all your favorite social media platforms. And then remember, we are on YouTube, so hit that subscribe button. That helps. And for the short format shows that drops every Tuesday, The Locker Room on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. So remember, as he said, man, life is short. Love. Stay safe, practice gratitude, and know we're rooting for you.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap.